Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'm going to talk to you about probably my favorite topic, not in the world but pretty close, and that's the Baker Act. And it's become such a passion of mine because, well, I had my own family member Baker Acted, and our office has represented about 800 other families whose loved ones have been Baker Acted and illegally and unlawfully detained by the state of Florida. So just to recap, the Baker Act is not a treatment statute. It's a statute that authorizes the state of Florida to take custody of you, make you a ward of the state, and the state becomes the new legal guardian. And so if you're a family, even if you are designated as the healthcare proxy, your rights are effectively terminated. The healthcare proxy is, for the most part, not worth the paper it's written on when it comes to the Baker Act. And your loved one, the patient, well, their rights are terminated too. So the only, individual entity that can make decisions with regards to your loved one's medical and mental health care is the state of Florida and their agents. The hospital and or the Baker Act receiving facility, they are licensed as agents of the state's mental health system, which means they can lock you up. They can lock up your loved one. They can forcibly medicate. They can pretty much do whatever they want. And the reason that is the case is because, well, when you get Baker Acted, unlike when you get arrested, nobody actually knows you're there. There's no oversight. No one's reporting to anybody that they have you. And because they're an agent of the state, as a general rule, they have sovereign immunity. So absent you being injured, and I mean physical injury, not emotional distress or losing a job, all of which are important, but for purposes of this conversation, you're not going to get any money for it. You just simply can't sue them. I'm not telling you that's right, because I get 2 or 3 calls a day from people who would like to sue. I'm just telling you the way it works. And it's wrong, but unfortunately, I don't have the power to change it. I do have the power though to fight the system. And so there's 2 types of Baker Act, involuntary and voluntary. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about involuntary, which you associate with the 72-hour assessment period. Now, what tends to happen in a lot of cases is somebody ends up in the hospital for a myriad of reasons. Perhaps it's medical reasons, whatever. They're in the hospital and they have a medical issue that needs to be attended to. And they sit there for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. They're told they're Baker Acted, and then they're told, well, we're going to transfer you to our behavioral health unit. Or if the hospital doesn't have a behavioral health unit, we're transferring you to a Baker Act facility. And they say, hold on a second, I've been here for 5 days. The 72 hours is long since expired. Oh no, my friend, is what they tell you. The 72 hours hasn't begun. It doesn't begin until you get into either the Baker Act receiving facility or the hospital's behavioral health unit. And so the 5 days that you sat there, guess what? Their argument is it doesn't count. And they may be right, depending on how and when you were medically cleared. And I just had that in a case where a family called us, their loved one had been in the hospital for 5 days, and they're like, well, the 72 hours is over. I said, no, it hasn't even started. It hasn't even started. These 5 days don't count. Now, does that mean that we can't secure your release? Does that mean we don't have an argument in front of a judge? No. I mean, we have a great argument. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to go into court and fight, as I said, nobody knows you're there and you can't sue them for this. So they don't care. And so my admonition to you, and this has been my admonition ever since I've been making these videos, is that minute you get Baker Acted, even if you have some reason to believe that it was legal, you should fight like hell to get out. And the way to do that is to go to court. It's not to send threatening letters. It's not to run into the hospital and start threatening to call the police or threatening to call a lawyer. You have to actually go into court and make the hospital respond. Make the Baker Act facility respond. And that means you need a lawyer. Unfortunately, if you're a family, unless you're a lawyer, you cannot file a case on behalf of your loved one because you're not licensed to practice law. And so that's my admonition to you. Fight, especially if you've been sitting in a hospital for several days thinking you're going to get out, because in all likelihood, you're not. So that's my 2 cents on the Baker Act. If you have any comments or questions, or you agree with me or disagree with me, or even want me to make another video about something that happened to you, post it in the comments. I read all of the comments that you post, and I appreciate you taking time to converse with me. If you like the video, I love a thumbs up, that helps. And if you want more content like this, because I'm doing a video, so now I think I'm doing 2 videos a day, so you can get the information you need to decide if you need or you want to do some legal intervention, please subscribe to the channel so you get notifications that we're putting out more content. And with that said, thank you for tuning in. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.